We're going to learn about XLOOKUP and VLOOKUP and how to use them in Microsoft Excel in this video. And one of the most important things that you're going to learn in this video is that VLOOKUP is no longer recommended. You shouldn't be using it anymore. And we're going to see where it says that in the documentation. But XLOOKUP is amazing and it can be really useful in a lot of very interesting situations. For instance, let's say you want to have a customer name automatically be looked up from a list of customers and appear each time you enter their customer ID. XLOOKUP can do that. Or let's say you're a teacher and you have a gradebook and you want to automatically look up what letter grade should a student receive based upon their score from 0 to 100. XLOOKUP can also do that. So we're going to see how to do both those things in this video. Let's get to it. So here I am in Microsoft Excel, and the first time I use a function, or if I haven't used a function in a long time, I will go into help. And help. I will go into help over here and I will look that function up and I'll read about it just to make sure nothing has changed since the last time I've used it, or if I've never used it before, just to become a little familiar with it. And so this is something I really recommend to my students wherever I teach them, in school, at the college, at the university. Always use documentation. And so here I am in help and I'm going to look up XLOOKUP. Well, let's just say I didn't know about XLOOKUP yet. I'm going to go and look up VLOOKUP because that's what kind of has been used traditionally in the past. And when I hit enter there, it brings up different choices. Gives me a little bit about VLOOKUP right there. But if I click this choice right down here, it gives me all of the documentation about VLOOKUP. And one of the first things front and center that Microsoft is showing me is that VLOOKUP function is now not the recommended solution. You should try using the new XLOOKUP function, which is much better. And so if I click, and that's a really important thing to tune into, by the way. And if I click on that XLOOKUP link right there, it'll take me into the documentation for XLOOKUP. They have a little video. I don't find these quite all that helpful for whatever reason, but they have a little video there and a little bit of a description. And one of the things I really look for is the syntax. And here's the syntax about how this function is used. You're going to have equal to XLOOKUP, and you're going to have a lookup value. And so here the lookup value is going to be the customer number. And then there's going to be a lookup array. And here the lookup array, this list, this table of all my customers, it'll be the customer ID. So this is going to be the lookup array. Those numbers right there, 1 through 10, will be the customer ID. That will be the lookup array. And then we have the return array. And this will be the return array right here, right? So if customer number 7 is looked up, the return array associated with 7 will be Miller. Right? So that'll be the return array. So I'll select that information right there. And then what to do if not found. And you'll notice that is in brackets. And so when you see things in programming, in computer stuff, in functions where they're in brackets, brackets mean usually that this is optional. And you can see down here under if not found, that's if not found, it says optional right there. And then we have match mode and search mode. And so we have exact match, or we have different matches we could do in here. And we'll come back and look at these in a second. But let's go ahead and use this function. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to type in equal XLOOKUP. And then hit tab, and my lookup value is going to be that number right there. And then I'm going to press a comma, and you can see here it's telling me what is the step I'm on in this function as I'm going through it. And so the lookup array, I'm going to highlight all of that, and then I'm going to press F4 on my keyboard. That's the shortcut key, F4 right there, to make those references absolute, because as I copy this formula down, I want to always reference all of that right here. But I want this to, as I copy this down, to reference over here the relative reference. And if you haven't learned about relative and absolute references, you could find a video of that here somewhere on my YouTube channel. And that's super important to know about relative and absolute references. So I'm putting in there my absolute references for my lookup array. Now I'm going to press a comma and I'm going to come over here, and now it's telling me I need my return array. So I'm going to select my return array right there and press F4 once again to make those absolute. And then I'm going to press a comma. And if nothing found, I'm going to put nothing found right there, right? If there's no match, just enter a little text. And what is my match mode? So I could come down here and I can look at match mode. Sure, we'll might as well go with the default exact match 0. That seems to apply in this situation. We're looking for exact match between this number here and the customer number there, so I'll press 0. And then the next one here is after match mode, we have search mode. That's what I was looking for right there, search mode. Specify the search mode. Perform a search starting at the first item. This is the default. Sure, that sounds good to me. So I'm going to press 1, hit my ending paren, and paren is short for parenthesis, and now I'm going to press enter, and customer 4 is brown, and over here customer ID 4 is brown. And as I copy this formula down, so I'm going to come up, highlight this formula, Control C, and I'm going to paste it here, customer 5 will be Jones. So when I paste this formula here, it looks it up and there's Jones. And as I copy this down the rest of the way and then paste it over all of that range right there, it looks up everybody. You could see 3 is Williams, 8 is Davis. It did all of that lookup perfectly. Totally amazing. Let's see how to do that with a gradebook now. I'm going to close help because we kind of already know how to do it, don't we? Now I'm going to do XLOOKUP once more. I'm going to do XLOOKUP here, and then I'm going to press my parenthesis, and my lookup value is going to be that, and then I'm going to do my comma, and that's going to be my lookup array. I'm going to press F4 to make that absolute. I'm going to do my comma. This is going to be my return array. I'm going to press F4 to hold that absolute. Do my other comma. I'm going to do nothing found, right? If that's going to be my thing. And here, exact match, I don't want an exact match because I have 96.7. I want exact match or next smaller item. So I'll be -1. So for this 96.77, it's going to go beyond 90%. And it's going to say, wait, 96.77 is greater than 90%. So I'm going to go to the next smallest item, which will be 90%. And if it's 70.43, it'll go past 70%, and then it'll go back to the next smallest item, which is 70%. So I want this exact match or next smaller item, -1 right there. And then for this last item here, which is the search mode, search first to last. That sounds good to me. I'm going to press 1, press enter. And just make sure my references here are absolute, and this one is relative, because as I move this formula down, I want it to continue to reference each grade associated with each student. Press enter. I'm going to copy this down. So I'm going to highlight that range and then Control V to paste that. And 70% something's a C, 98%'s an A, 74%'s a C, 58%'s an F. Working perfectly, amazing. All right, so that's a little bit about XLOOKUP. I'm gonna show you how to use VLOOKUP in the next video, just in case you're working with some old spreadsheets, you gotta figure that out. So hit that subscribe button, toggle that little bell if you wanna check out that VLOOKUP video. Also, if there's anything you wanna learn about Excel or anything about technology, leave it in the comments down below, and I'll take a look at those comments and make videos about the things which people most wanna learn about. So if there's something you want to learn about, leave it in the comments. Also, please hit that like button so that I can continue doing this and making these videos. All right, see you next time.